Hey guys, what's going on? It's Scotty Hobbs. I feel honored. I am blessed this morning on this beautiful Monday morning to be able to speak to you guys about the building blocks of building a foundation in the business that you guys can learn and grow from, specifically with Team Beachbody. I was invited by Meg to do this call for her and for you guys, and I'm excited that I have the opportunity and the chance today to be able to serve you guys in some sort of way. And if the message that I delivered resonates with you and helps you in some sort of way to be able to expand the vision of your life and to work a little bit harder towards your goals, your dreams, your ambitions, and to make a bigger impact on this world, then I feel blessed. So once again, my name is Scotty. I want to talk first about stories. I think stories is one of the most important things about Team Beachbody and about this business, because the one thing I want you to think about as you're getting ready to build this foundation of doing the simple things every single day is that Beachbody is moving forward, whether you hop on the train and work your butt off at this business or not. We're going. The business is going. The team is going. The coach network in general is going. We've actually superseded with Team Beachbody what the infomercial side of the business has done. So this is phenomenal. Also think about we're only in Canada and we're only in the US and we haven't even gone outside of that. So when I say that the bus is going, the train is leaving and you should hop on it, we're like on the second floor of a 100-story building right now. That's how I feel about my business every single day and about being a part of Team Beachbody. Boy, I'm super excited about it, super pumped about it every single day. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little bit weird talking to a webinar with nobody on it right now, but I know you guys will be on there. So if I'm like not looking in the right spot or whatever, that's why. I want you guys to know that you are worth it, first of all. And there's been this thought in my mind that's gonna lead us into talking about personal development. And it's about being prideful, but prideful in a good way. And it's, the thought is you don't have to think less of yourself, but you got to think of yourself less. So I want you to think about that. Maybe write it down so you can really visualize it and see what that means. And I talk to my coaches, and you guys, it's going to kind of maybe blow your mind a little bit, but Team Beachbody is a selfish business. And it's a selfish business in the fact that, Team Beachbody doesn't say it. I don't think I've ever heard any other leader say it, but I say it to my team, and I say it often because I want you to think about the 3 vital behaviors. I'm not going to pound and hound on them so much because you guys know what they are. Be proof that the products work, do personal development, and invite. Every single one of those things is for your benefit and your good. It's going to, by grasping that and taking the hold of that, it's going to help other people in the long run. But immediately when you look at those things, it's a selfish thing. Your workouts, being proof the products work, and doing your Shakeology is selfishly helping yourself become healthier and more fit and a better person. You're helping yourself. Now the flip side of that is that as you help yourself and develop yourself and grow yourself, you're going to be able to better help serve other people. So you get to make that choice. The other one is your personal development. First of all, it helps you. It improves your mindset, your psychology. It improves everything about you. You learn what true happiness is, what joy is, how to lead people. Those are all things that benefit you directly, but then if you give that to somebody else on the flip side, you help serve other people. The next thing is invite. What does invite do? It's honestly, it gets you Success Club every single month. That's the first thing it does right there, immediately in your business, right? If you invite people, you get Success Club. You get your business grows, right? But you have to look at the fact of, in the flip side, I guess you could say, which I'm doing on each one of these, is you're giving somebody the tools to completely and drastically change their life if they do them. So you're doing them first and you prove the products work. Now you invite people to do it, other people to do it, and they do it. That is this business in a nutshell. That's all we do as the Team Beachbody coach, is doing those 3 vital behaviors and then helping other people and giving them the tools to do the same thing. So I want you to think about that. And as you're getting ready to do this, that's the foundation of this business. But remember, you've got to focus drastically on yourself. And the first question I was asked by Meg was, being a busy guy. So I want you guys to understand, right? Like right now, like when I started, let's start when I started. I worked 12 hours a day. 5 to 5. My wife worked at night, 3 to 11. And I had 3 kids, and the youngest, when I started as a coach, the day I started, was 18 days old. So I was busy. Like, I was super busy. So when do I fit in time to do, personal development? It seems like if you want to grow your business, sell products, get people started, that's something you can get rid of. Like, right? You're busy. I'm not going to do personal development. But I had the exact opposite mindset. I knew that I had to develop myself if I wanted to make a difference and impact people, because I was not that person when I started. So I took every opportunity to listen to and develop myself with personal development. And I still do that today. So what I did is I took my little phone. At the time, it wasn't a smartphone. It was a little Nokia MP3 player, this little SD card. I downloaded audio files to it that were personal development, and I would listen to them at work. Now, I'm a musician. I play music, record an album, we play live shows. And so I love music. Music makes me feel alive. So I had to switch listening to music to doing personal development and growing myself. And this is going to sound crazy to you guys, but in the first year of being a coach, I listened to The Slight Edge over 60 times. I listened to As a Man Thinketh, Think and Grow Rich, Millionaire Next Door, and then every single book that John C. Maxwell has ever written. Those were the first ones I did, and I hounded those into my system, listened to them over and over and over and over and over again. The Slight Edge, I listened to it so many times because I had a CD of it in my car, and I listened to it 15 minutes on the way to work, listened to it during my 15-minute break, and I listened to it when I drive home from work. And then I listened to it when I drove to the grocery store, when I went everywhere. And then all the other audios I had, I listened to it when I was mowing the lawn, when I was doing the dishes, when I was cooking. And I still do that today. I make it a priority every single day to listen to at least 3 hours of personal development books or interviews of successful entrepreneurs, right? So I'm thinking outside the box of just Team Beachbody and listening to just national wake-up calls and team calls. I'm listening to successful entrepreneurs that have built big businesses because I want to be a successful entrepreneur, and Team Beachbody is a tool that I have in the vehicle that I have right now in front of me. So I'm going to learn from these successful entrepreneurs. So I'm doing that all the time. The cool thing, guys, is I think a lot of times we have the misconception that you have to hear everything perfectly, like 100%, you have to take notes and everything. You don't have to do that. It just needs to come into your subconscious mind. And the cool thing is when you need that, it comes out and you're able to serve and help somebody else and give them an answer. For example, 95% of the stuff I'm going to say today is something that comes to my mind as I'm speaking that I learned in a personal development book or audio over the past 4.5 years. So I want you to think about that. That's how you're able to help other people, is by growing yourself. And it's important. One thing I think about when I think about personal development is, you have a lot of problems in life. You have a lot of problems to solve as an entrepreneur with, setbacks and working with people and overcoming objection and helping people work through their problems. All those things are problems, and you have problems in your own life. Our job as a Team Beachbody coach, basically as an entrepreneur, is to overcome the problem and then help somebody else know how to overcome that problem. And to overcome problems, you got to grow bigger than the problem, which comes through personal development. So I'm pounding the personal development into you guys just a little bit because I think and believe that it's the most important thing, because if you're not doing that, you're not going to do anything else in this business. So make sure that you're doing your personal development as you're going forward and doing your business. How has it impacted me? I suffered from self-esteem issues my whole entire life trying to fit in. I don't feel that anymore. I feel powerful in knowing that I am Scotty Hobbs and I have my flaws and I am who I am. I've had my story. My life is what it is because I was meant to share that and how I overcame everything in my life and use that as a story to help other people understand that they can overcome their struggles and their trials in their life. So it has not only built us a 7-figure income business with Team Beachbody, but it has helped me become a better person, better father, better parent, better spouse, better friend, all of those things. It's helped me become every single one of those things. And I'm confident in myself. I'm confident. I don't feel like I have to be accepted. I'm accepted by God, and I can say what I want to the world, my feelings and thoughts, and I don't care what anybody else thinks about that. And I realize that if I do that, people that have the same values and dreams and ambitions and goals in life as I do will connect with me in that aspect. And then we can do this business together of these simple steps of doing the 3 vital behaviors. So it's drastically improved my life. I'm at the point now in my life, even 2 years in, I felt in my life where I will never work another day of my life for somebody. No matter what happens in the future, I've grown myself so much that I could pretty much get a job wherever I want, because I've grown myself into that leader that can change an organization or help change people in an organization, improve any business that I get into. So there's so much value in that, aside from, the way that you can build Team Beachbody as a business. Personal development will grow you into that person that can make change in any place that you go. So that's a huge thing for me. Some of my favorites, the Slide Hedge. One that I don't think I've heard anybody else talk about is the Happiness Advantage. That's a great one. Also, it was a study of Harvard students about how 1 out of 10 is happy. The rest of the nine others are stressed, and they're not growing, and they're not having a good experience at college, and they don't end up with good jobs. And 1%, 1 out of 10 does. And it's about the happy, people who are genuinely happy before success and don't wait till they're successful to be happy. That's a great book. I think it's important that you are, because I think, when I have somebody come to me and they say, hey, Scotty, my business is struggling, or I'm struggling, or I can't hit Success Club, or nobody's doing anything, I'm not doing anything, my business is not where it wants to be. It's because their life is not where it should be. And how do you get your life to where it should be? Surround yourself with good people and do personal development. So it's never the business that's struggling, it's you individually. So that's the power of personal development. When my business struggles, it's because I'm going through an issue in my life, whether it's an addiction or some sort of thing. I'm going through something, and hence my business struggles. So the same thing is going to apply to each one of you individually. So that is those are a few of my favorites. 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth is great. Also, you're in network marketing. Embrace that. You must read books like GoPro to increase your skills as a network marketer. So that's also a great one. Magic of Thinking Big is a great one. Also, it's very important, if you feel like you're never disciplined in things, that you read a book called Greater by Stephen Furtick, and also A Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. Both absolutely phenomenal books to help you dial in on your purpose as a human being and as a coach. When you're dialed in on your purpose, you're then committed and disciplined in your daily activity and daily behavior. So, wow, there's personal development. So I'm very balanced today, and Megan can tell you that. She sent me a message with the topic on Thursday. I had my schedule already planned out for Friday. I unplugged Saturday, Sunday, and I didn't get back to her till this morning that this would be done and to you guys on time. So I'm very balanced with a family of 5. My oldest is 8. My youngest is a month old. And I also play, like I said, I play in a band. Recently, last month, played with a band called POD. Before that, Saving Abel. So we're playing with all these big bands. We have recently released an album this year. So 5 kids, an album. And then I teach the Sunday school class at church. And then our Beachbody business now has 38,000 coaches on our team. So we have a large business. So, how do you stay balanced with all of that? And I think it's very important that you understand your roles and your priorities in life. Once again, going to the book, Purpose-Driven Life and Greater, help me understand my priorities, my purpose. And then when you can become extremely disciplined in your different priorities and your roles, then you're more effective in each one when you give 100% attention to those. So I want you guys to think about that. Sometimes, and this may confuse you a little bit, sometimes it's better to do less. I think a lot of people get caught up in doing busy work, busy work, checking in on Facebook, notifications, right? But you're not actually doing the things that are going to grow your business. Growing your business means growing yourself, adding value to others, teaching others how to get to where you're at and where you're going. So I actually have personally 4 vital behaviors: be proof the products work, do personal development, invite, and then teach people what I learn on social media. Teach people what I'm learning in my personal development related to being an entrepreneur, being a health and fitness guy, and being a parent. So I'm teaching all of the time. And I believe it's so important that you add ridiculous value to people. When you begin to do that, you're going to overcome objection and rejection. So, okay. So I was asked by Meg, what was a turning point in this business and when it became real? I'm going to give it to you guys straight. So May 10th, 2010, I started P90X. I gave 100% because I was sick and tired of being out of shape. I wanted change more than I wanted to stay where I was at with my health. And I wasn't obese by any means, but I was living off of energy drinks and breakfast burritos. And I'm working 12 hours a day. I'm overworked, underpaid, underappreciated. but I just really was exhausted with life. And at this time, I only had 2 kids, Kina and Mila, ages at this time 2 and 4. And I start P90X. I was introduced to it by a friend and neighbor. I did 90 days, and I went from 187 pounds to 145 pounds. I had abs for the first time, and I had confidence in myself. And even being in my late 20s, I still struggled from self-esteem and trying to fit in with people. So I felt confident in myself. And people were inspired and asked me, what are you doing? So I just began sharing that with people. Hey, I'm doing P90X. You should do it. They bought it on Craigslist. They got it off eBay. They downloaded it. Whatever they did, they started doing it because I was telling them about it. And so at this time, I'm like falling in love with seeing people change because I loved how I felt. I wanted other people to feel that. And they did that. And when I would get a message from somebody, I was in love with it. Because, when you struggle with self-esteem, one of the greatest ways to improve your self-worth is by helping other people and serving other people. Service helps you improve your own self-worth. So that's what I began to do without knowing it. And I remember being so excited to see messages in my inbox on my Facebook. I began to blog, and my blog sucked so bad, but I had a blogger. It's like Scotty's Over the Top, blogspot.com or something like that. And I was just sharing ideas, sharing my workout accountability, sharing what I was eating, and it became fun. I was not a Team Beachbody coach. But I get online at Facebook, I get on Facebook, I get online, Google, YouTube. And during this time, I want you guys to understand that I was reaching out to a successful entrepreneur, business owner in Idaho Falls, who was at the time the bishop or leader of my church, asking him how to start a business because I wanted to start a business where my wife could come home from work. Because remember, I worked 12 hours a day. She worked at the hotel at night. So I'm researching and trying to figure out how to start a business. And I kind of decided I'm going to do a hair salon. So I talked to him, hey, locations, ideal, got to do this. It's going to cost you about this much for a building. Got to buy supplies. And my sister was a hairstylist. So my plan was I own the business. She's the hairstylist. And by that way, I could make maybe $10,000 a year profit and bring my wife home from work. So I was researching, trying to do that. Well, I was afraid. I was afraid to invest money that I didn't have. So the next thing that I do is I start a sign business, right? I'm going to make custom signs, and I have a YouTube video talking about visualizing and some signs that I made. And I made signs, but I put 30 hours into each sign, custom made. I did them on Craigslist and on Facebook. I made a like page, all that stuff. And I didn't know how to do that stuff, but I was learning it. And I sold some signs. I probably sold 20 signs, guys. And the thing is, it took me 30 hours plus supply, material, labor of cutting it. And I literally probably made 7 cents on each sign that I made. I could sell the sign for $140, $150, custom made, their name, go to their cabin or whatever, over their archway, their house. And they were beautiful. I put my heart and soul into designing that art and making that a product that they loved. The only thing is I couldn't make money doing it. I couldn't scale it, I guess you could say. Or I didn't know how to scale it at the time. During this time that I was making signs, I knew about Team Beachbody because I researched online. I have results of P90X, P90X results. And I started seeing all these videos and blogs about coaches. I'm like, what coaches? What is this? And I reached out to Lindsay Matway, who is my coach. She got on the phone. She's like, whoa, you have amazing results. You'd make a great coach. Basically said that, And she invited me to become a coach, guys. I reached out to her after watching over 20 different coaches' videos and reading their blogs because I felt that she had the same mindset as I had. Similar stories in a way, but I could relate with her in the way that she was delivering her message. I was like, I can deliver my message like that. But I was afraid. I told her, no, this is not for me. I'm going to keep helping people. She follows up later. There was a time, probably 3 months later, there was we have promotion with Beachbody. The promotion was, you don't have to pay anything. The $40 sign-up fee was waived. And back in 2011, we didn't have, or 2010 and 11, there was not challenge packs yet. So she's like, your sign-up fee can get waived. You can sign up for free today. And I was like, nope, I'm not going to do it. Not for me. And she told me, you're already doing the work of a coach. You're just not getting paid for it. And I was like, that's okay, whatever. But this cycle continued for 8 months. And during these 8 months, guys, I was afraid. I told her that it just wasn't for me. I wasn't going to do it, but I was afraid. I was afraid I couldn't pay the monthly fee of $15.95 a month. I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to invest in Shakeology. I was afraid that I couldn't make a difference like she was and like the other coaches that I saw. So cool thing I want you guys to know is that when I originally reached out to her, she was a coach for 3 months. I thought she was the number one. I thought she was the first coach that signed up, the most successful, the highest rank, the highest income earner in Beachbody. And I found out when I signed up a year later that she was only 3 months in as a coach when that day came. So that gives you guys something to think about. The way that you portray yourself and deliver your message is more important than your actual rank. It's all about who are you. Remember, you don't have to think less of yourself right now because you're an emerald or because you haven't hit Success Club consistently yet. But you need to think of yourself less and learn and figure out how you can serve and help more people in this business. So it's April 11th, 2011. I'm sitting in my office, sitting in my cubicle. And it's 18 days after the birth of my daughter, Ellie. And this day, I was scared. I was scared out of my mind. And I didn't know what to do because this day, specifically, 2 things happened. I had the bills that I pick up from my lockbox, and they were the hospital anesthesiologist, they were the hospital bill, the doctor bill, all these different bills. And I didn't know how to pay these bills. I was scared. My mortgage at the time, I'll be honest with you guys, was $1,548. My pay at my work at this time was $910 every 2 weeks, or $1,820. If you do the math, $1,820 income after taxes, 401k, insurance, and a $1,500 mortgage does not work. Now add on the bills, scared out of my mind. So this day, I'm there. I feel like I'm spinning. I feel like I'm drowning. Like, why is this like this? I've been working hard for 3 years. I'm a hard worker. Why do I feel like this? And I wanted answers. I was scared. Later on that day, this is on my mind all day. Unfortunately, probably not focused at work. I get on Facebook at lunch, and I see pictures of people on a cruise. Team Beachbody coaches doing exactly what I was doing. And it was called the Success Club trip. And they were on a cruise, and they were enjoying life, doing what I loved doing already, referring P90X, that's all I knew about Beachbody at the time, and being with awesome people. And here I am, sitting in a cubicle, scared out of my mind. That's the day, that's the turning point, where my fear of failing as a coach and not having all the knowledge of how to do this business, because those were the fears that were holding me back. That was the day that my fear of knowing how to take care of my family and what my future would be like was greater than my fear of failing as a coach and the fear of taking on extra responsibility and trying to learn how to become a successful coach. So that was the question I was asked. What was the turning point for me? And it was that day. That day, April 11th, was the day that I signed up as a Team Beachbody coach. That's the day that I knew that I would make it, because I was very clear that I would bring my wife home from work and that I would do whatever it took to learn how to connect with people and build this business just by watching and observing and learning from the other successful coaches in this business. So that was my moment. It wasn't a year in. It wasn't 8 months in. I can tell you, however, 8 months into the business, let's rewind just a minute. I want you guys to understand, guys, because I hear a lot of excuses. I had no smartphone. I had no internet in my house. And I worked 12 hours a day, and my wife worked nights. And I was taking care of my kids alone at night. And at the time, my hobby was playing Call of Duty and drinking beer. So least likely to succeed, right, at an online business or becoming an entrepreneur in this moment. So I asked Lindsay, I tell her, I need to make, and it's from my neighbor's house right here, 3 houses down, using his phone, sitting in his desk in his home office. I said, I need to make $10,000 with Team Beachbody. Are you going to help me? And how do I do that? And she said, I can't promise you $10,000, but I promise that your income will be a direct reflection of the number of lives that you change. And literally, guys, my GSR was that. Why are you going to do that? Why are you going to make $10,000? Why is that important? Because I'm bringing my wife home. I'm going to do whatever it takes to bring her home. And so she told me that same thing. I promise you that your income will be a direct reflection of the number of lives you change. And I decided that day that I was going to change as many lives as it took. And I wasn't going to stop when I hit that goal. Another turning point in my business was 8 months into the business. I'd hit Success Club 10 for 8 months of the year. And I want you guys to know, to earn Success Club trips when I started as a coach, you had to have Success Club 9 months out of the 12. I signed up in April. I wanted that dang trip that I was so pissed off about when I was sitting in my cubicle. I wanted to go on that next trip, which was to Atlantis. And it was April when I signed up. So I had April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I had 9 months to hit that. So I was going to do whatever it took to hit Success Club 10. I was going to do whatever it took to bring my wife home from work. I didn't know how, but I knew that I was going to do whatever it took. And I literally, guys, I didn't understand network marketing or how building a team worked. I knew I wanted to be a diamond coach in 90 days because I heard that was a cool thing to do. And number two, I thought I had to sell like 300 P90Xs or Shakeologies to make that $10,000 because I didn't understand that you could build a team or what it meant to build a team in that time and the impact that that could make in your life and your business. So I went out and I did everything it took to be able to expand myself and learn how to tell my story and grow myself as a leader. So 8 months into the business, I hit Success Club 8 months in a row. I'm sick with the man flu and I am in bed for like 3 days. I don't remember. I don't hardly have any vacation days at work. I'm sick. I'm stressed out. I'm working Beachbody business 4 hours a night. I'm working 12 hours during the day. And my wife, she comes into where I'm sleeping in the bed. I have the man cold. I'm dying, right? She says, hey, I think it'd be good if you got up, put a sweater on, and went and got Keena from the school bus. She's going to be home, in 10 minutes. So I got my sweater on, get out of bed, sniffling, all that stuff, right? And I walk down this cul-de-sac right here. And I'm halfway down the cul-de-sac and the bus pulls up. The bus pulls up. I remember clearly hearing this, that air screech sound you hear of the air brakes of the bus. Stop sign flings open. I remember it like it was yesterday. And around the corner is standing this 5-year-old girl with her little backpack. And this girl walks down the stairs of the bus, and I continue walking towards her. And I realized a bigger mission in my life was to be able to experience those moments in life, like seeing my daughter get on the bus, seeing her get off, go to donuts with daddy, even though we're the healthy people, going to her recital for her singing, not only for her, but for every single child that I have. And I realized that if I could do this ex-drug addict, this ex-failure, this ex-college dropout, because yes, I dropped out of college, if this guy could do this business, I could connect with other people just like me and help them understand how to do this themselves. And not only would I experience that, but other parents would have that experience in life, which I believe is the most important thing about this life, is our families and raising children to be good people and make a difference in this world. If I could do that for my family, which I knew I could because I'd done it 8 months already, I knew I could do it for the next 55 like I have, for the next 10 years like I'm going to do, that I could teach somebody else how to do that and make a difference in this world much greater than me, much greater than just doing it for me. And that was the day I decided I would do everything it took to work hard at this business every single day at those 3 vital behaviors. Not because it's my responsibility to make somebody successful, because it's not, but that I needed to be the example for every single person that gets into this business, that if they follow my lead, look at what I do, look what other successful coaches do, and follow that daily activity and that mindset, that they too can become successful. That was the bigger vision of my life, where I decided that I will be like the next Tony Robbins, but not the next Tony Robbins, the Scotty Hobbs, that inspires people to face their fears, that inspires people to take action, that inspires people to learn happiness and joy in what it means to fully live this life. And that is my mission and my purpose. And that is how and when this business truly became real to me. That was when I realized that I can teach somebody outside of Beachbody. I don't care if they join Team Beachbody, but if their life improves, my mission is being fulfilled as a Team Beachbody coach, because they're going to go out some way and make a difference in their life. I look at that same mindset when I teach the 13 and 14-year-old kids at my church calling, because I want them to face their fears. I want them to grow into their highest potential. And it's not based on, will I make a challenge pack sale? Will I sign a coach? It's based on, can I serve and help that person achieve their potential and realize what their purpose in this life is? When you do that to enough people, the results in the business will follow. People with like-minded with the same mindsets, the same values, they're going to be driven to you and drawn into you like a magnet, right? Then that's where you stop chasing people around and trying to get people to join you and trying to get people to understand why you are the way you are, why you're so passionate about this. You attract people that understand, people that are the same as you. And that is why I love this business. People ask all the time, how do you do it with a business so big? It's because I focus on the things that I love about the business. What do I love? I love working on my own health and fitness. I love challenging myself in my fitness. I love growing myself with personal development. I feel good when I read something. I feel even better when I teach what I read to somebody else. So that's what I focus on. That's my job every single day when I wake up. It's not sell a challenge pack or recruit a coach. It's wake up, grow myself, do my workout, do the best I can, and teach people what I'm learning about life in my experiences and share stories of other people. And if somebody's like, hey, what is it that you do? Then I boldly invite them to join my team. What do you need, Meg? What is it you need in your life? What made you reach out to me about that post? What sparked in you when you watched that video? Oh, okay, your daughter's in daycare. And you know it's not supposed to be like, let me show you how. Would you watch this webinar? Will you be my special guest Thursday? I'm going to share my story and how I can teach you how you can get out of that situation. That is the thing that I love about Beachbody. And that's why I'm so passionate every day, because I focus on those things. That's the thing I do every single day, first thing in the morning, before I look at a text, before I look at an email. I do that stuff that I love and get that out to the world, and it attracts people in that are like-minded, and have the same values and drive as I do. So I'm going to leave you guys with a quick story. Meg kind of asked me tips for tracking my business. I am not good at tracking my business. I am good at doing what I do, which is teaching and inspiring people. And I hire somebody. I have 2 full-time assistants to track my business, to help with the business activity trackers, to help with my Coach Online Office, with my customer leads, all that stuff, because I'm not passionate about that. I'm passionate with the genuine connections that I get to make with people, that inspire them to take action and face their fears. So I can't necessarily teach you about that because I have somebody else do that for me that I've hired. One is my mother. She's been doing it for 2 years. And one is one of my good friends that I've taught to do it that has the same mindset as me, but just needed a job. So I taught him how to do what I do. So I'm going to do a quick story. It's kind of the brand that I'm developing myself into. My brand's scottyhobbs.com. That's it basically. But I want to talk to you guys about facing your grizzly. And I want you guys to get away from this and think about that. So what does facing your grizzly mean? So it was less than 2 weeks ago. I'm an archery hunter. So with a family of 5, I love to be in the outdoors and I want to provide meat for my family. So I'm a hunter. So I'm not sorry if you're offended by that. That's your own choice. But I was sitting in this place called Island Park, Idaho. It's near West Yellowstone. Highest population of grizzly bears in the country. I've never seen one in real life. I've gone to Grizzly Discovery Center, but I'm sitting here calling elk with a little call. But the thing is that attracts also predators. So I'm sitting there in camouflage. I have bear spray and I have a .44 revolver. I'm sitting against a tree, and before you know it, a 600-pound grizzly bear comes walking down the trail straight towards me. I'm so scared that I'm in shock. I don't even shake. And I sit there and I watch it come, and it comes to 30 yards. So if you don't know what 30 yards is, think of a football field. It's 3 of the big lines. 30 yards. It comes 30 yards to me. And this is the point where I have to decide what to do. I can let it keep coming, to where it can attack me, confront me. I got to use bear spray or protection. But I decide right now I'm going to face this. So I yell. I just kind of do this weird, yeah! I don't know what it was. I yelled loud, and it startled the bear, and it took off running, and I took a photo of it because I was like, I needed to show my dad. I saw this grizzly bear. So then I began shaking. I watch it take off through the trees. I pack my stuff up. I keep my gun in my hand, and I walk complete opposite direction. I'm so frightened. I go all the way to the main road, and I hitchhike. I say, I need to ride back to my truck. I'm not walking through those woods. I just faced a grizzly bear, right? And I'm frightened. So I get home. I prepare myself a little bit more. .44 revolver is good. I buy a 500 Smith & Wesson, which is a 50 caliber handgun for protection. I put it in. I have my same bear spray. I go out again, but I bring my dad and I bring one of my best friends. And we're out there, and we call in some elk, and unfortunately we don't have any luck, but we sit there, and the next thing I know is I hear we're in a triangle formation. I'm 100 yards straight across from my dad. At a diagonal is 120 yards is my friend. There's timber, trees, right, and fallen trees. And, usually we call elk into this triangle. So I'm sitting there, and my friend, one of my best friends from high school. He's out hunting with us, and he's got a little 45 revolver, which is not powerful enough to stop a grizzly bear. So, and I know this, and my dad has a 44, I have the 500, and we both have bear spray. My friend has no bear spray. Out of nowhere, complete silence, sound of nature. We're sitting there. I'm sitting in the grass I have my phone out, I have an elk call out, my bow is sitting on the ground with an arrow in it, and my bear spray is on my hip and my revolver. I sit there, and the next thing I know is I just hear, "Get out of here, bear!" And before I even know, I'm sprinting across this triangle through the timber. I'm hurdling logs and fallen trees, and I got a revolver in one hand, bear spray in the other hand. Somehow the safety was already off of the bear spray. And I'm running. I'm like halfway across, 100-yard dash. I'm like, where is he? Next thing I see is the grizzly is taking off. So the grizzly, he frightens it. Grizzly's taking off. I get over there. My friend's trembling. He's shaking. And, he's like, "Oh my gosh, I've never seen a grizzly before." And my dad gets there about, a little bit after me. And I get there, and I think we're sitting there as he's calming down. And I think, what caused me one day to go completely away in the opposite direction and ask for a ride after seeing this fear, this grizzly attack is my worst fear of my life. That's the worst fear I have, is getting attacked by a grizzly bear. So what made me one day walk away and 5 days later run directly at my worst fear? What caused me to run directly at a grizzly bear that is 3 times my weight? Almost 4 times my weight. What made me do that? And there's 3 things. I want you to talk about this so that you can learn how to face your grizzly. I want you to write these down. First thing, I was prepared. I was even more prepared than I was before. I went and got a bigger handgun, more powerful handgun, and I still have my bear spray. So I was prepared, and I knew what I faced, right? The next thing is that I had support. I had a team. I had my dad and my friend there. That was my team. I had support. It wasn't me by myself. The next thing is I had a reason. I had a reason. My friend, whether it was my friend or my dad, was in a legit danger, and I was not going to let them get mauled by a grizzly bear. So I was willing to run straight at that grizzly bear. Okay, so those are 3 things. I had the tools. I was prepared. I had a team, and I had a reason. So think about this in your business as I let you guys take away this call. Number 1, are you taking advantage of every single tool that you have and arming yourself with the defense and the tools and the offense to take on this business so that you're prepared when you face an obstacle, when you're prepared when you face an opportunity? So are you using the tools? Because they're all there. Number 2, which is probably should be number 1, most important. Do you have a reason? What's your why? My reason, I was willing to do whatever it took to bring my wife home. I knew that the last 5-6 years of my marriage were not supposed to be lived working separate schedules and never seeing each other. That was my reason. I would do whatever it took, run at any danger, obstacle, objection, so that I could overcome it and make sure that my wife came home from work. What is your reason? You'll hear it in Beachbody called your why. And number 3, are you taking advantage of your team? Not are you just hoping that your team runs towards you and protects you when it's time, but when you see someone on your team struggling, are you running to help defend them, to help support them? Are you encouraging them? So I want you to look at those 3 things. Are you using the tools? Are you prepared and have the tools and learning the tools, which is personal development as well, national wake-up calls, team trainings, and this call that you're on right now? Are you developing and solidifying your why and your reason so that you can face those dangers? And number 3, are you using your team? Are you showing up to calls live when you can? Are you volunteering to teach webinars? Are you volunteering to share your story? Are you volunteering to share your results so that others can use those and help share those stories? That's what I wanted to leave you guys with today. You guys have one opportunity to live this life. One opportunity to make a difference in the life of other people. Will you take advantage of that today? Will you realize that your success is not your rank? The success is not your income, but your success is a direct reflection of your ability to learn and grow as a person, know what your purpose is, be willing to grow, and know how to serve others and actually do that every single day. That's my challenge to you guys. I love you guys, and I want to see you guys making the difference that you want to in your life. See you guys later.